Hello and welcome everyone to my channel, Tea Time and Spells. My name is Melissa, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my review of this cutie right here. This is Diamond Art Club's Dragon in Books by Marigona Sully. This was my project for the weekend here in the US. We had a nice long weekend, and I was addicted to it. I powered through it in 3 days. I loved it so much. But I thought I would share with you guys just a short review of it, share my thoughts and opinions about the piece, and maybe you guys will learn a thing or two. If that sounds interesting, go ahead and grab yourself a project or some snacks, maybe a cup of tea. I've got blackberry, raspberry, hibiscus cold brew tea today, and let's get started. All right. So to begin, I would like to highlight the fact that this kit is a partial. So for those of you who don't know, because I didn't know, this is my very first partial, and what that means is that part of the project is just canvas and you don't have to put drills down. So in this case, the entire background of this piece is like a shimmery cream colored canvas, which is really, really nice. However, it can be kind of deceiving. So Diamond Art Club marks this piece as being a 42.8 by 42.8 centimeter or a 17 by 17 inch piece. That's for the entire square. The actual drill field, like what you're going to be doing, when you measure, it's going to be about 13, close to 13 and a half inches wide here, and then the length is a little more than like 14 inches. So not the 17 by 17, which is fine, especially if you're trying to do more of like a snack size kit, which is what I wanted. I wanted a break from my big project that I had just completed last week. I wanted something smaller, more relaxing, and this fit the bill. So just keep that in mind, that the actual drill size that you do is a couple inches smaller than the actual piece. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. A couple fun facts about this piece. It does have 22 colors. Of the 22 colors, this sucker has so many special drills. So it has got four fairy dust drills, and they are all in the dragon. The dragon itself is chock full of fairy dust drills. Like, it's got the cute little blush here with that really rose pink color. That is a fairy dust drill. His entire body is that really peachy fairy dust drill. And then in the books themselves, there are a couple of special drills. You've got the white, which is a really pretty fairy dust drill. And then there's also this really pale kind of like a pale cream color, and that is in the books as well. So it's really sparkly. You can probably tell, maybe if I kind of like go up and down here, that it really sparkles. And then there are two more. So you have an AB. This is a kind of a cream whitish color AB, and that's right here in the book down here. There's a lot of those there, and then just a little bit kind of like in the mane of the dragon there. So nice little accent, and then a little bit here in the tail too. There's some of those ABs. And then the last drill, this is my favorite drill. This was a peach like stained glass drill. This was gorgeous. This was all in the stars and the moon up here. And the frosted drills just gave a really cool effect in the sky there. Like that, this was probably my new favorite drills. This was the first time I've ever done frosted drills, and these looked great. And as you can see, I have a ton left over. I have a ton of all of the drills actually. Diamond Art Club gave a nice amount of drills, and the drills themselves were excellent quality. If you had seen my previous video, I had kind of talked about how Dragon Artist had kind of a lot more trash drills than what I was expecting or had been accustomed to. This was completely opposite. I had very few trash drills, and the trash drills really, the ones that I saw were more of the ones that have kind of like right here, just a little bit of like a dot on the end, like they weren't quite fully square. I had just a handful of them. And I'm not one who's too terribly picky about it, which is why I've kind of got a couple in here because it didn't matter too much to me. So as for trash, very, very minimal and lots of extras for the drills themselves. And as you can see, very, very shiny. This turned out so great. Another thing I loved about this piece is the charting. The charting was perfect. The drill field was nice and tight for the drills, for the square drills, and I use a multi-placer for pretty much all of my diamond paintings. So like you can kind of see a little bit of gapping here. That's because I use a multi-placer, but the gapping on this piece was substantially a lot less compared to Dragon Artist. This one, I could zip through, like there was a lot of color blocking if you could see here. I was able to zip through so much. It was just a ton of fun to do this piece. This had, I would say, a lot more color blocking than confetti. I mean, you did have a little bit of confetti when you're looking at like the wings up here, the tail, some of the designs on the books had some confetti. But for the most part, I would say it's more color blocking and line blocking, which for me, I love that. I love color blocking. That's like my favorite, but I also appreciate the amount of detail that comes with confetti, and I thought this was just the perfect mixture of both. And one of the things I enjoyed about this is obviously because of the size, it was super quick and easy to do, but it made sectioning it so much easier. I don't use the washi tape and release paper method. I just use the perforated cover that comes with them. But when I had come to like this bottom half, because the books themselves kind of separated into its own sections, I was able to just kind of quickly do like one book, maybe two, and then put the rest of the release paper and know that that was a nice spot. It was a nice, clear, definitive break that I was able to see and get back to really, really easily. And I did this over the course of like 3 days. I started this Friday afternoon, like Friday evening, and I finished it Monday night. And throughout the weekend, it was a holiday weekend for us in the US. It was a nice 3-day weekend. And I was out and about with my family, and you know, we were kind of out going in between the house and the backyard, and you know, I would do like 1 or 2 books, step aside for a couple hours, enjoy the family, come back for another break, do another book or 2. And it was so relaxing. The flow was wonderful. The colors, like I loved the color theme. This really nice muted pastel. It just fit the theme of this piece so well. And again, this was Dragon and Books by Marigona Sully. This was released like the middle of April 2025, and it went for $34.99. So not a terribly expensive piece. It was a very popular piece. This sold out so fast. I was very fortunate to snag it. And I'm very happy for that because this like rejuvenated my soul. I had been getting really burnt out towards the end of doing Dragon Artist because that was a massive piece. And I have only started diamond painting since January of 2025, still really new at this. And I had done kind of back-to-back larger pieces. And towards the end there with Dragon Artist being so huge, I was like, you know, I just kind of want to break with something a little smaller. And this just fit the bill. You know, a nice few days. I had originally planned on just kind of taking my time, doing this over the course of this week, and then start June off with a fresh painting. But I became so addicted to this. Like, I got so excited to work on it, and I just didn't want to stop. And funny stories, when I first started, you know, I had started right up here, and I made the mistake of watching a movie with my husband while diamond painting, and I became engrossed in the movie that I didn't realize that these two browns, I was color blocking all the same color. So I ended up having to take a, let me see if I got it, my metal multi-placer here and my tweezers, and like had to like dig out and yank out like this entire section and replace it because I got distracted and put the wrong color down. How many of you guys have done that? But even after that frustrating ordeal, I still immediately went and placed it all and continued because I was just so excited to do this picture. This kit was just wonderful. It called to me and it healed my burnout from Dragon Artist. And now that I'm done, oh, there went my light. But now that I'm done with it, I'm excited to start my next one. And the next one I want to do is Teatime Spell by Chrisabug, the one that actually influenced my channel name and kind of got me wanting to start YouTube. Teatime Spell by Chrisabug was featured on one of Ashley, Messy Girl Crafts videos, and I fell in love with it. And I knew immediately I wanted to do that. And then that was kind of the one that spurned me into wanting to start a channel. So now that I've got this little guy out of the way, I can now do that one. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, just, you know, a few little details and some fun facts, and I wanted to show you guys what it looked like in all its glory. I am probably going to, I'm thinking I'm going to frame this one. It's small enough that I could easily showcase it, and I'm actually thinking of maybe showcasing it above a bookcase kind of library setup that I've kind of got in my head here. And I think this, I mean, with the books and the dragon, I mean, it fits perfectly for the theme of the library. So I'm thinking I might do that. And yeah, I might have to take a look at a couple videos to see what the best mounting method is and what the best frame might be to accent this. I'm thinking maybe something with wood. I think a natural wood color would really pair well with this, especially with those muted brown themes. I think that would look really good. But if you guys have any suggestions on frames or framing methods, leave them in the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. And let me know, did any of you guys pick up this cutie? You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. If you love dragons and you love books, you're gonna love doing this one. I know I did. So that's it for me. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do a kit up of, well, an unboxing and a kit up of Teatime Spell probably in the next day or two. And then I'm gonna get going on that one. And then I'm gonna decide on if I want to work on that one alongside another one, try doing two at once to kind of help with burnout, or if I just want to continue doing what I'm doing and just power through one at a time. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you everybody for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.